Update, guys. I'm in Salgin Medical. Nice seats, right? Small but compact. Restroom. So left this morning after. The plan was Michelle here again in Ghana. I am at the ear, nose, and throat specialist. Just collected my receipt from the. It's at Salgin Medical. So it was supposed to be a day that I stayed home. But then I decided that I'd leave with the girls, come on the road, and then have our teeth clean. So it was supposed to be a dental run, right? But then, guys, I left my glasses, and then I'm realizing how much it affects me. It just bothered me about the fact that take out my phone, I want to read what message comes in, and I'm not getting to read what message comes in. So I was there sitting and waiting on David. David was supposed to have a meeting with one of our clients. So we said we'd wait with her because we could, and then we left there and go to the medical appointment. The girls are going to deal with their dental, their braces, right? So I was sitting there and I was thinking about my eye. I said, since I have the money, I should deal with the eyes because I really need the glasses. The glasses that I have, two of them that I got before I left the US, have no use whatsoever. Neither the tinted one or the one you just transition. But I am discovering a couple of things. Anyway, I soon get to that. But I got up, made some queries first to some other friends here, diasporans, about optician and so on, and I got Salgin Medical and another one in front of DLV I hear, but that is in Cape Coast and that would be farther and probably harder to reach. Where Salgin was up the road from where I was currently in Abra, right? So I came out, said I was coming, and then it's just me needing to find Pragya. When I called, they were saying 160 cities to test my eyes. I flagged down a Pragya, have him turn back because he was going in the opposite direction, and told him where I was. Only thing mistake I made was, but to me, he made a mistake to assume that I was doing a jumping. But anyway, I told him where I was going. He said yes, he knew it. Turned on my GPS and I went. But every time I expected him to do the turn that my GPS was saying, he was going the opposite. So when he got to see, it was still, going down. So I figured was okay anyway. Except he turned one left instead of a right and then kept going. When it passed hospital and the stadium, it said, my GPS said 7 minutes, it's further away now. So I said, hold on. I don't think you know where you're going, I don't think you, because you keep going against what my GPS is saying, but because you said you know where you're going, I was allowing it because you guys know how to take shortcuts and so on. But I think you need to turn back and go all the way back here. When I turned back, it was telling me, the GPS that is, to go left. So we turned left, except we ended up going like towards the hospital entrance. So a hospital was here. I said, no, the persons that I asked you, they don't know and whatever. So I just followed my mind. I said, I think it's on the straight road that you keep going away from. So we're going to go back. I'm not going to give you all the advice people tell me because they were telling me, download Bose, follow this, follow that. So I said, okay. I think it's on the main road. One of the persons concurred with what I was saying. And we turned back and I said, go straight back out towards Abra. And when you get out there, turn left. And that's what he did, and I just followed the road and kept looking on the side, and this was telling me, so he told me to turn left in 500 meters, and by turn it went up to 50 meters. I saw salt in this on the side. So that place I had visited quite a number of times when I was buying water and a few things when we lived with a friend that put me up when I just came to Ghana. So it was familiar. I just didn't know, remember that was where I saw the name. If you get, sometimes you pass a place, you see the name, and you say to yourself, when you want it finally, somebody, you're referred to, you just say, gee, I saw the name somewhere, but for the life of you can't remember where you saw it. That was me this morning. But I found the place. Of course, when he drove in and parked, he wanted droppings. When I said, I didn't tell you I was giving you droppings. And after you carry me all over the place, definitely not. So I was prepared to give him 10. You normally pay 3 cedis or 3 cedis 50 pesos for that kind of trip. But I decided in my mind I'd give him the 10. He wanted more, small more. So I just gave him the 15 and I'll be done with it. I know some of you are going to say I shouldn't. And probably I should, but sometimes I fall on my mind. But I gave him the 15 cedis. It's not usually 15 cedis for the trip though. So anyway, I came in and they do the usual test. I think I'm gonna put my the picture of the frame I took. That's the only one of that kind I saw in there. But what I've been doing for years when I got my glasses, is they make it sound complicated. For some reason, it sounded simple here, or I'm me dumb. So you tell me if I'm me dumb all these years, or then just make it seem complicated. Because in Jamaica, yes, they tell us you need bifocals, right? And the bifocals usually have the lines across. So you have the lower part for close up, and then you look out when you want to see far. That's me. So let me show you the glasses. Okay, so this is the frame I took. I told myself for quite a while that I was gonna try a big frame, but every single time I come to the optician, the ones I see there, I don't exactly like them. So it's the first round frame one that I see that is bold that I like. It's the only one here, right? But I was talking, I'm coming back to that. Let me finish what I was saying about it. So she said there are two lenses, the one with the line, right, and the one without. So it's transitional and bifocal. But how she explained it to me, it just sounded different from how it has been explained to me for years. I said, what is the difference with the one with the line? She said the one with the line is just people seeing that, there's a line. The top, you look out. The bottom, you look down when you're reading. And then the other one has no line. It's just you moving your eyes up and down. And then there's a middle part so the transitional is the steps. What did she say about the middle part? The bottom part, of course, is a bifocal without the lens, without the line, and the top you look out. And the middle part is a transition, like if you want to do look at your computer screen or use your computer screen. I don't know. I'm a little bit confused. I probably have to think about it a little. Her explanation seems a little bit simplified, and I'm not sure what epiphany I had about it, but it seemed different. It just seemed to me that I feel that I've been paying extra cash for years for glasses based on transitional plus bifocal, because they make it sound like bifocal and transitional is two separate things that has to go into the one glasses, and therefore separate payments. When you pay for it separately, it makes it more expensive. That's the impression I get from the explanation, because in taking the transitional and not the bifocal, it it doesn't make a difference because the bifocal is in the transition. I don't know if you not understand what I say. But how did that roll out in money? She said if I take in the one with the line that distinctly shows the demarcation between the bifocal and the other part, it's 750. 800 if you take the UV protection thing. And this I'm talking about cities here. And if I take the transitional lens without the demarcation, you just switch between the transition fluidly. It's 1,100, I think. It was 1,050 and 50 for the UV, so 1,100. The frame cost me 600 and I gave me a discount. So I ended up paying 1,780 cedis. Of course, if you compare that to dollars, it's cheap. You know, that's less than 200 US dollars for my glasses. People have been paying thousands, not just in the US, in Jamaica, for glasses. So in all the years I've been wearing glasses, this is the cheapest I've ever bought glasses. In Jamaica, I remember Jamaica dollar poorer than Ghanaian. Lord, I'm just bowled over by this, and I think I have to put some more thought into it. But I am telling you, the visit, I have to think some more about it. But yes, I'm at the eye place, and nice and comfortable, cool as usual. It was very easy, no complications. Just came in, he took my name and my number, sent me into the doctor, and they do the whole thing of showing the letters and all of that, and then I choose my lens, and so same time. They say take a week to sort out, and after that week, or maybe before, they'll call me, of course. But 1,780, and the 80 is for the visits, for the test. I'm gonna think a little bit about this bifocal versus transitional, because I swear, guys, I have been hearing for years that transition is like different from. So they say bifocal this amount, for the transitional is this additional amount. They didn't show it to me like transitional and that is the same. It's just that one have line and one don't have line. So I've been paying for the line in when the line don't butter because it's the same thing. Well, no, there's a bit of a difference. She says it's like brook, low, close, far. If you put in just the line, the bifocal, there's no transition, but the transitional allows you to move just smoothly, but it does the same thing. It's just that you transition more fluidly. So if you buy the transition, the bifocal is still there, just that it don't have a line down and up. I have to call a couple persons, because there's this friend of mine still in teaching in the US who she and I usually have to get the same lens. Someone asked her if she knew this, and I just never know. So technically, as far, and correct me if I'm wrong, because maybe me psych it out different. The transitional and the bifocal not different. It's just that the transitional no line, and the bifocal have line. And the bifocal have no big ground, but the transitional have mid ground. But you can take just the transitional or just the bifocal. You don't need both. Correct me if I'm wrong, people. Let me show you guys outside. Selwyn, that's the name of the place. Selgin. It's a LGYIN Medical Center, and it's this plaza, but you can see it at the side, the name at the side when you're on the road. And I'm making use of the people them. So this is my entry. This is the entry. You come in here, see? Nice place. So in here until the girls come and then we move on to the dental. Didn't expect to spend that money, so it's a knock for me, but at least I get a sensible glasses. Alright, don't want to chat your ears off anymore, guys, so I'll see you in another video. Well, I'll see you. I'm gonna do another video for the dental later, so I'll talk to you guys again. Michelle here in Ghana, sharing my experiences.